Okay, so we are in the last leg of this particular exercise where we'll get on to the E-code part of it. So we completed the N-code. Just to recap on what we did previously, you already identified what your N-codes are, and one of the questions that came out from the previous conversation was how to get rid of these things. Anyway, you guys realized that it's not going to help me.
In fact, I was wanting to ask you that question.
Fantastic. So that's where we will quickly touch upon that before we moving ahead. How to get rid of these inputs? So typically, one thing is very clear. This is not going to help me. This is not going to excel in my life with this negative belief in my mind.
Right.
So how do I get rid of it? It's up to you how you want to get rid of it. In the sense, there's simple techniques or simple steps that we can follow here is that maybe you can write it in a piece of paper and tear it, or maybe write it and burn it off, or write it and throw it in the air.
Or like burn it is good for
write it.
I don't really want to burn it.
Yeah. I mean,
you need to go out for that.
So, anybody has seen a movie Jab We Met?
Yes, I have seen.
You have seen that movie? So you remember in that movie? Yeah, in that movie, this guy, Shahid Kapoor, is
flushes.
Yeah, exactly. One of his, his girlfriend's
photo or something.
Exactly. He tears it or flushes it out, and he feels so good about it,
yes.
right? So the same thing, similar to that. How you can get rid of certain things from your mind off, where you're giving an evidence to your mind that this is not going to be any more required, or which is not required in my life from now on. Right? You can do that. Any of these things, whichever you are comfortable with. Write it in a piece of paper very strongly, or tear it off, throw it off, burn it out, flush it out, whatever you want to do that. Okay? Maybe you can do that and feel good. It really makes you feel good after you do it. Okay, so once you do that, so from the previous exercise, again going back to the previous exercise, what you guys completed, from that activity you got all the encodes,
yes.
And also you got the corresponding E-code.
Yes.
Yeah.
The system gave you corresponding E-code. Maybe it might make sense to you, relevance to you, rather than saying it as make sense, relevance. If it is really significant or if it is really meaningful, you can use the same thing. Or you want to tweak it to make more meaningful, more significant, more impactful for your life, can make that change.
Yeah, I think for me, I have to tweak it a little bit because the system what it gave, I'm not 100% okay with that. Yeah, it's not convincing.
Alright.
So since I said my encode when it comes to my work, when it comes to work and money, I just want stability. The system given E-code for that is my work is worship, and I get money as a gift. So this is the system given E-code. So if I were to make it my own, I may probably need your help on that. The other E-codes are the best is ahead of me. So the best version is still pending.
It's nothing called as somebody else has to give you an E-code for you. It's up to you, where you feel more empowered.
Correct.
That should be convincing to you.
Right.
Of course, we'll discuss about that. No questions on that. But the point here is you need to believe in that. You need to have that empowering effect on you by uttering that, by believing in that, by saying that. Okay. That's what is important.
So people respect me when I share my intuitions. I am positive when receiving intuitions. I belong here. I'm a money magnet. These are the E-codes,
corresponding E-codes. So to think about it, I mean, if it is really making sense, if it is really meaningful, if you feel that it's meaningful, keep saying that going forward.
Yeah, I think, you might have
those intuition thing.
People laugh at me because I'm crazy about intuition.
Yes,
it's not new that Naveen is laughing. Many people have laughed at me like that.
Right. But what makes more sense is whether you believe in it, whether it makes more sense to you.
Yeah, I take it in the right sense now.
Right, that's what. Now, I mean, if you want to talk about that, those E-codes.
You are still getting on to my intuition.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
Your encode said, there are two encodes, right? I give intuition, I give intuition. So the system has given you the really very good
Yeah,
key code
exactly.
which you can work on.
Right.
So for me, again I have to tweak it a bit.
Please.
So I said I control my anger and rarely get angry, and I'm patient with small and big things, and with the young and old people. Those are the end quotes which I had said, and the quotes which came up, and they are very true to the fact that
Okay.
they appeal to my personality per se. So
Okay. That's good. I mean, if you think that see, whenever that thought comes to your mind that for example, in my case, I'm not good enough is something which typically it comes to my mind whenever I'm put in a situation where the environment is new or the situation is very not so conducive for me to excel there. So the thought that comes to my mind is I'm not good enough, or I don't have that expertise. So immediately I change it saying that I am confident. I can do. I will, get this situation under my control. So
Yeah.
I really change that thought in my mind to move ahead with a. So that's what I normally, whenever I'm in a situation where it is not conducive for me, I tell myself that no, Ram, you can do it. You will do it. I will do it rather. You, I will do it. I will make this happen for me. That's how I change that situation in my work towards it. Okay. Now to before we call it completed, we have one exercise we need to do. Encodes. You know what an encode is. You have your encodes. You have e-codes also listed separately now, right? Just think about those encodes. How do you think? I mean, you think about the future. If you have to live your life for the next 15 years with those encodes, how your life will be after 15 years from now with those encodes. Think about it. Stay with that. Right? That's one thing. And also, look at your e-code. Think about your future for 15 years from now, and see how your life would be after 15 years with that e-code.
Okay.
And how do you feel about it? Just if you can think about it, and we can.
So we write story.
Yeah, quickly, if we can just take one of the encode and maybe you can talk about the encode, you can talk about the e-code 15 years from now.
okay, let's do that.
So if I'm carrying all my encodes for many more years, I would not feel good, I would not feel comfortable, I'll continue to live an average life, I may not become wealthy. Since it took 9 years just for 2 promotions, I think it will take another 5 to 6 years for the next promotions in the near future. I'll continue to live my life this way whether I like it or not. Once in blue moon, I may probably plan to take my family for an outing, which I really don't know if it's going to happen. My dream is to make my son good at one sport, one musical instrument, send him overseas for masters. If I doubt if I will be able to give this wonderful life to him. I want to leave this full-time corporate job and be an entrepreneur. With what's happening in my life, I have no clue if I'll be able to achieve this dream.
All these things, you are seeing yourself as not accomplishing these things with that encode, right? So if I ask you a simple question, would you like to be leading that kind of a life?
Never.
Right?
Not at all.
Exactly. So that's what reflects in your voice, saying that you don't want to be. Then
Correct.
obvious next action for you is to have that converted whenever you see that you're getting into that kind of a situation, how you can take it in your control to empower you to be successful in your life.
Correct.
Right? So similarly, just quickly to come back to you, Naveen.
So my encodes was.
So you need to be passionate about that. When you're talking about the e-code, you feel you need to be passionate. That passion needs to reflect in your voice, and you need to be confident to take it to the next level.
So I'm supposed to write 2 stories, right? With encodes and e-codes.
Encode is already spoke about, so we just split it.
So for me, that getting angry, losing patience, for that 5 years of life with those e-codes, what you want me to say, right? No?
Your e-code, what are your e-codes now?
I'm calm and patient.
Okay.
That's my ego.
Calmness,
I rarely get
breathing.
angry.
Yeah.
That's
With
my-
that, having those e-codes, if you look fast forward,
Yeah.
how will your life look like?
So, I'm calm-minded guy who is pleasing to talk to. Everyone will feel like sharing their thoughts with me and look at me as someone who's approachable.
Right.
I do not react immediately without thinking. I look at anything, anyone, or any development from all angles, analyze properly to react in a mature manner. And this nature also helps me keep my mind and thoughts calm and soothed.
Awesome. So you feel good about it?
Yeah, of course.
You feel
Because I can end up as a snob, right? But this tells me that I need not have to do that and make
Right.
those changes and
exactly.
be this guy everyone loves.
Absolutely. So this is the power of an e-code, or rather e-codes.
Absolutely, yeah, sure.
So with this, we are completing this integrated power coding piece
Awesome.
in the whole journey.
It was wonderful.
Right?
Really.
So I
Stressful and at the same time enjoying for me.
yeah, it's a lot of reflections on your own life, a lot of actions that we need to take going forward as well. So with that, we will close this right now and we'll move on to another major milestone that we need to achieve is about the outcomes. We'll talk about that later.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ram.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Naveen.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Raj.
Raj.